Working with a lot of product managers in my past, I've seen that many PMs actually don't know how to work with developers because they've never written code themselves. And I want to clear this up and make a short video about it. My name is Till Carlos and I'm a developer. I run my own engineering teams inside my company, and I've worked with many product managers. And so I know a bit about how they work with developers, and I want to clear up a couple of things. For example, the manager versus maker schedule. This is something where managers usually are oblivious to because they like to chunk their days in 1.5 hour blocks, 1 hour or 30 minutes. And it's great for them because they can knock out these meetings and transport information, and then it's great. For developers, it's totally different. They are on the maker schedule, meaning they need uninterrupted time for many hours per day, ideally without any communication, unless it's question and answers for someone else and getting some quick information during chat. The problem with this is if someone has an uninterrupted time and then you interrupt them, you basically cause a ripple effect in their schedule. So just asking something in a video call for 5 minutes will cause a distraction of 25 minutes to find back to the topic. The next point is deadlines. And I'm the strong proponent of deadlines because I use them myself. If I want to ship something into production, I always set myself a deadline. I say, okay, it's tomorrow night, I'm going to ship this feature, and then I'm going to get cracking at it as fast as I can. Deadlines are helpful because they help us avoid the procrastination, they help avoid over-engineering, and they focus a whole team. And it's important that we have realistic deadlines because only the realistic deadlines, they actually increase the productivity and they help us meet the goals. There's the other flip side where deadlines can be counterproductive when they work on the morale and people get discouraged. And this usually happens when there's something that just cannot be reached because it's just too complicated and there's too few hours in the day, too few weeks before the deadline. So they should be realistic, only then it actually works. The next thing is specification. And that's something where a lot of product managers fall short because they assume the developers know what they want to code, but usually it's not the case. Developers think in their box, they think about the technical things, about the problems. They usually don't see the user value right away. So you need to teach it to them, or you need to write a very clear specification. How to do that? You plan the product and then you pass this vision on, and along the way, as you do that, you write very good specification. Usually specification includes just the detailed stuff that needs to happen for every feature, and then you need to repeat those things a couple of times. Because sometimes developers, they think this is what they're doing is correct, but then you need to test and need to give it back to them. How to write great specification. There's a YouTube video which I can recommend here by Ellie Nivelle. She's a senior product manager at Amazon. So this video really helps, half an hour. I can recommend you watch that. The next thing you got to know about developers is that they don't know how to estimate. And this is normal because developers always work focusedly on the technical problem. And usually, as I said before, these uninterrupted blocks of time, they're in a state where they cannot really experience time as other people do. And so they think something just takes an hour, but in reality, they just set the whole day on it, working through the solution. And if the developer says it's going to be done in 16 hours, it's going to be at least 25 hours. This is especially worse with junior developers who have even less experience, then they don't have so many reference points, and they think everything is simple. And then when they then get blocked, then they get blocked for way longer because it takes them much longer to solve something. Senior developers, on the other side, they usually err on being too pessimistic and then seeing everything as too dark as it could be. And then whatever they estimated, then it becomes true. So estimation is usually a huge problem, and not many people have solved this really well. I have a video up there, which I'm going to link here and also later in the end card of this video, where we run you through how to do software estimation in a team, where you can then work with averages. And this usually helps us a lot to get the estimation much more accurate. The summary is this: understand the schedules, put up deadlines that are realistic and don't demorale or take off the morale of the team, write really good specifications, communicate this often, and just be very cautious with estimations. If you're a developer and you want to know what PMs would expect from you, check out this video I made with Diana Wiedström where we talk about this topic.